everybody, to another episode of Jabroni Drive. On this week's episode, Roman LA Knight, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Bobby, Cena, Solo, Iyo, Bianca, Rey Mysterio, Logan Paul, Cody, Bree, Sammy, Jade McDonough, Crown Jewel. Timmy, what do you got to say to all the Schmidl of LA's out there?
Fuck the music, Tom. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Generation X proudly brings to you its WWE podcasters of the world, the Road Dogg Tim Schmidt, the badass Tommy Lavelle, the new age podcasters. And if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you.
Sucker! Timmy, wherever did you get that from? That was incredible.
Ooh, it just came right out of my head, you know? I just thought of it right on the spot.
Off the dome. Wow, that's incredible. And we've got an incredible show lined up for you tonight, today, this afternoon, whenever you're listening. Jabroni Drive, available on all podcast platforms and YouTube. If you're not already doing it, now's the time. Give us that follow, that share, that subscribe. Tell your friends, tell your family. Jabroni Drive, the best professional wrestling podcast in all of professional wrestling podcasts. Just ask us. We'll tell you. Timmy, big PLE this weekend, Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia. A lot of matches lined up for this, so let's get right into it, and let's start with, I'm going to roll the wheel here, and it's going to put us on one. The first one we're going to start with, you can't see me, Mr. John Cena and Solo Sikoa. All right? John Cena, they're billing him as the greatest of all time, and you know, they've been building this match, and they're saying quite possibly going against the baddest, the most ruthless, his toughest opponent that he's ever faced, Mr. Solo Sikoa. What?
Tom, we know that to be true, Tom.
Oh, it's true. It's damn true. Timmy, no, it's not. What the heck? What is first of all, the greatest of all time, to be announced as the greatest of all time, is is this WWE's decision? To Cena?
Well,
he's a modest guy. He doesn't want to be announced as the greatest of all time. Like, what is going on with this?
Yeah, but yet he's been announced as the greatest of all time since he's come back in his little hiatus. Every time he comes out, it's the greatest of all time, the greatest of all time, the greatest of all time. I don't know if it's him or, I mean, I can't tell, Tom. I often look at PLEs and I go, now, again, I don't have extensive history with this, right? Because I've only been tuned in again now for the last year and change. But I look at this match and I go, this doesn't belong. It just feels like a throw-in. And like, let's keep these guys busy and let's just try to draw. It has no storyline. It has nothing to do with anything. And it's just 2 guys wrestling each other. And I think they're just trying to throw a bone to Cena maybe and keep him relevant within the WWE. And what better way than to throw him a piece of the bloodline meat. And let's see what happens. That's my opinion of it. And you're not going to talk me off the ledge on that one because it's true. It's just a grab, in my opinion. So
right. And I think this has a lot to do with it being a Crown Jewel Saudi Arabia show. You know, they're going over there. And if you look at the big names on this list, Cena is the most tenured one there. He's got the most history. They like to see those Undertakers, Goldbergs, Shawn Michaels is wrestled there, John Cena. You know, they want to see that big name that's been around for a while. He's the Hulk Hogan of, you know, the last 20 years. So they have
Correct.
to have, and that's why, like you're saying, this is just a throw in. All right, we're gonna give him Cena too. You know, he'll go against
Right.
Solo. It'll be great. His toughest opponent ever for the greatest of all time.
Right. Yeah, and I don't know, like, we talked about Cena's ego before and how he has to be in the spotlight and tries to steal everyone's thunder. And Tom, this is your opportunity to jump on this. He's and you're withholding a little bit. I don't
Well,
get it.
I feel like Solo. I'm just curious what's gonna happen with this match. I think the right move. No one's buying Solo. Here's the thing, like, it's funny that we've talked about it in the past with the Judgment Day a lot, is if you're gonna have these guys be relevant, they gotta win. Well, the bottom line is no one's interested in Finn Balor, no one's interested in Damian Priest, and no one's interested in Solo Sikoa. So why do we have to do this? Yeah, okay, if you're going to develop storylines, it helps to have these guys more relevant. But at the end of the day, they're not really draws. So
Yeah, we get the like the other thing that like irks me about this is that they're putting effort into it. Like they give Cena and Heyman a segment, right? And they go back and forth, and Heyman tries to really build it, which he can do like no other. Um, but it didn't work for me, like
yeah,
he's trying to sell Solo's thumb in the throat, like he's never gonna talk again, like he's gonna ruin your acting career. Okay, dude. It's like no
yeah.
one bought that.
Cena's
Like,
the only one that's ruining his acting career. We all
yeah,
know that.
it's exactly. So, I mean, to me, it's a non-match. I would assume that Cena wins clean, um, and we move on.
Yeah. I think see, this is where it's tough because Cena's been putting people over, but he's been talking a lot about not having that win in a long time. Solo, does this help create the, Solo brand of being that formidable opponent? He just like put a notch on his belt. Have you seen it? The problem is I'm not really interested in this match, and I don't think it's going to be that good. I don't think Solo is that, like, I've never been happy with one of his matches. Like, wow, Solo is what a show he put on there. And then Cena, the last matches we've got from him, I mean, he's getting older. It's just a fact of life. That's not an insult. That's just a fact of life. And it's true. And I feel like his in-ring, he's gotten better the more time he's been back in here. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to have to say I agree with you, Timmy. I think Cena wins this match, and then we're going to not see him for a little bit. No pun intended. So let's move on. Let's go to one of the matches I'm gonna do this one and it's gonna lead into the next one, okay? So we're gonna go with Cody Rhodes versus Damian Priest. Cody Rhodes versus Damian Priest, Tim. In a promo I thought this weekend or this week I thought was pretty good, pretty well done by Cody when he came out and
Yeah,
was saying he's on his path and you're in the way now. And and Priest, you're not the leader, mommy's the leader, and this and that.
yeah.
And you're behind, even behind Dirty Dom. Well, I'm wondering there too, and I was looking for it all on Monday Night Raw. We've teased some things in the past, and I didn't see any like subtle teases there. Cody, I think, wins this match, and I think he wins it, fairly easily. Maybe there's a misstep in what goes on there, and they're trying to help him. The Judgment Day obviously is going to get involved, and maybe it hurts Damian, and there's some more dissension there, like kinds of builds it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Or is that where you
Yep.
see this one going?
Yeah, no, I do, because you're starting to get a lot more of the turmoil within Judgment Day, where it seems more so that Priest is gonna either leave or get forced out. Again, I don't buy Priest at all, but there are certain segments that we've been getting over the course of the last couple of weeks where it suggests that, hey, this is going to be a changing of the guard somewhat. And with Cody putting those words into action, right? Like with trying to create some doubt within, because he's good at head games, right? He's good at manipulating people, Cody, like on the mic, and like the promo that he cuts really kind of goes towards what we're suggesting. And then you see on Raw, Mommy puts Priest in the match that he didn't consent to, and he questions like, "Hey, we're all equals here, at the Judgment Day. Like, what's going on? Like, why am I getting put in a match?" And he gets some bullshit excuse, and then he gets forced into a match. So like, it has all the makings of an exit with Damian Priest, but yeah, we've seen this time and time again where it feels like it's heading that way, and then all of a sudden they bring it back and they put the titles on Priest and Finn Balor. So it would be a surprise to me if Priest wins this match. I doubt it. I think Cody prevails and he starts on his journey to towards WrestleMania.
Yeah, I think Cody wins this one. I feel like there's going to be something that
There's got to be,
happens.
yeah. I'm sorry to cut you off, but there's
No.
got to be something of significance that happens at this pay-per-view. I know it's not their premier pay-per-view, but there has to be something that like pushes that storyline, right? Like something that really kind of engages us in that road. Like whether it's Priest, like you got to make Priest interesting because he's not right now. Like he has no quality whatsoever. Like I could give a shit. Like, does anyone even know that he has the fucking Money in the Bank contract anymore? Like, yeah, they brought out like they're making fun of Priest with the new Judgment Day the other day. Like, I know it was a Halloween costume and all that stuff, but like I thought that was funnier than anything that like Priest has done that has been relevant recently. So, he's gotta have some meaning to himself, and like something has to come out of this pay-per-view.
Right. Now, the only thing is that they're still the tag team champs, right? We still got Priest and Finn Balor as a tag team champs. So that's
Mhm.
something to remember. All right. So this is going to put us right into, and I have Cody too. So we both have Cena winning. We both have Cody winning at Crown Jewel. So this is the match that I've been circling. Like this is the one I'm probably looking forward to the most on this card right now. And that is Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. I've really liked the build on this. The promos that both of these guys cut this past week, like they had the vignette with Drew and talking about, you know, how tough it was to win that championship during COVID in front of the no fans. And I really feel for the guy on that. That was awful. That was an awful time for everyone and everything like that, but that was like I just can't imagine
Yeah,
how tough that is.
but yeah, to your point, great promo by Drew, but what an excellent rebuttal from Seth.
Yes. But it made me
And
dislike Seth when he said that.
yeah, probably. Yeah. But I mean, he toes that line, right? He does a really good job
It was a great
of
promo.
being face and heel, right? At the same time. Like you're like, I don't know whether I hate this dude or whether I like this guy. And I think that's why he's so polarizing. Because he dances on that line, right? You're like, fuck, he's right. But at the same time, you want to punch him because like you're like, fuck
I
you,
think
dude.
he's wrong. I think he's wrong. I know he's saying like, "Oh, boo hoo, oh well, like you had this and that," and that's easy for Seth Rollins to say when he got the chance to cash in the Money at the Bank at WrestleMania and go
No, no,
out
no,
in
no,
front
no,
of
no,
the
no.
fans.
You're not understanding what I'm saying. So what Seth does that's so great is that he appeals to humanity. instead of appealing to wrestling. He goes and makes it a humanity thing and says, he makes it like, hey, to the everyman, like you're complaining about your titles where people are like they don't know if they're seeing their loved ones and seeing and like he makes it very personal.
Right.
And people in the crowd can go like, yeah, he's right. Like, yeah, like I didn't even know when I was getting my next paycheck. And this dude's crying about it, like his title reign in front of like a COVID crowd. Like, are you kidding me? I thought that was brilliant the way he attacked, like the way he rebutted and he attacked Drew, which is perfect for the way this is set up, right? Like
Right.
it's like,
No, I thought that was great too. I just thought it was a low blow. And it probably was meant to be,
yeah,
but it was like I didn't think I was like, oh, what a dickhead. But that might be my Seth Rollins, you
hate,
know, not hate, but my critique, my critical
hate.
Seth Rollins. I don't hate Seth Rollins. I like Seth
Yes,
Rollins.
yeah,
Just
yeah,
very
okay,
critical of him.
yeah. Mhm.
But
Um,
I've this whole arc of Drew's story has been great. I think it's one of the best things going right now in WWE and this kind of, hey, I'm on my own. I'm just doing this and that. I like if you get screwed, I'm not here to help you. I'm here to worry about me. And I'm not a good guy. I'm not a bad guy. I'm just making sure that I get mine now, and I'm gonna get it with no matter what anyone says. Which leads me to this question, Tim. The HJB brought up a very new idea to us in the group text of possibly Damian Priest cashing in and then Judgment Day turning on Damian Priest. And the new
all three of
member,
us.
yeah, new member Drew McIntyre comes out with the title and is a new member of the Judgment Day. I was like, wow, I'm blown away. Almost like
Innovative.
we haven't been talking about this for the last 3 weeks.
Um, yeah. So I'm seeing these promos from Drew, and I've read some things too that like he is hesitant to join any type of faction because he does well standing alone. Like he doesn't need a
Doesn't
faction.
need it.
Um, and he is not vehemently against it, but like he's been vocal about being in a faction of any sort. So I do love the fact that he can stand on his own and he can be his own man and still be a villain and still be a hero. He is just like, like as he's not Seth Rollins. Like Seth Rollins, ultimately, he's always he seems to be always a heel, but he has like that weird connection with the crowd, which is great. But Drew, he can really stand on his own and just be what he wants. And he can go face, he can go heel, he can go whichever direction he wants. Um, and it'll be interesting to see if he wants to stand on his own and become a heel, or I mean, there's a way that he's probably going to win this title. I think he's going to win this title. There's a way that he can win this title in a heel fashion and also in a face fashion. But the way it's going, it feels like he's going to go heel, right? I don't know if I want to see him in the Judgment Day because he's so good on his own.
I feel like it would elevate him. I feel like he would go to another level as a leader of the Judgment Day. And I think it would also raise everyone else that's still in that group up to another level too. Like they would be part of his gang now. And it's like, whoa. And just that look of, I mean, Drew McIntyre is a major player in the WWE, one of the best in the business right now in the world. And to have him as the head of that, him, Mommy with the 2 championship belts, and then the gang behind them is like whenever the Judgment Day truly would be running the show at that point. That would be a
I
really
feel like
cool look.
if he joined the Judgment Day, I feel him being more of an enforcer, if you will, and just being like looking down on guys like Finn and like just being like, like just fucking whipping them into shape and being like, fuck out of my way. You know what I mean? Like you didn't win this week. What are you doing? You know what I mean? Like that type
Yeah,
of deal.
they would answer to
Like,
him.
yeah.
He would be the leader, and him and mommy would be running the shit, dude. Like I could just feel like, and I feel like he'd be arrogant and just this like, I did what I had to do. Oh no, did I cheat? Oh, boo hoo. That's what I was told, right? Oh well, get over it. So Seth, if you've got a problem that I use the judgment, like that I'm part of the judgment day now, boo hoo. Oh well, get over it. That's what
Yeah.
you told me. That's what I've
It'll
been
be
told.
it will be a sight to see if this is what goes down. But
And that would just be an amazing like thing to see. You know what I mean? Like, and I will say this, if they do it, please do it right in the beatdown. Don't pull like a half-hearted beatdown. Like really like Damian, they're gonna have to lay it in, dude. And they're like to beat him down and like really just leave him there in a pile of, broke, busted open and just like laying there, and the dogs have attacked, and now the Judgment Day walks out like we run everything and you're out.
yeah,
I would love to see it, but then that's the question: what happens to the tag team titles? And maybe that gives a good opportunity for WWE to split those up then, because if Damian and
either
Finn are the
that or
tag champs, okay, we got to have a tournament for these titles, and one of these is going to go to SmackDown, one's going to stay here, and we'll figure out
yeah,
who's going to be the tag champs.
yeah, yeah, that or you can throw. I don't know. You have JD McDonough comes. They did that with like Pippi, whatever long stocking Nevin is or whatever her name is. Like
Piper,
she's now,
yeah,
yeah, whatever. Piper.
Piper Niven, aka
Yeah.
Dewdrop.
But yeah, I don't know. Like I'm not even worried about the tag team titles right now. I just really want them to work that whole situation out first. Obviously, that's part of it. Um, yeah, it'd be weird to see how that goes down. They keep the titles or whatever, or maybe another member like Dominic all of a sudden becomes part of the tag team titles. I don't know. I don't know how it would work out, but obviously a lot has to happen for that to play out in the right way at Crown Jewel.
Yeah. And maybe, dude, that might just be something. If it does happen, it happens further down the line. Like, and this is just another step to that. Because the last year with the bloodline and the Sammy story and honorary Uce and all that stuff, it drew out for a little bit. And then when it finally came to a head at starting at Royal Rumble, and they had when he finally hits Roman with the chair, it was just a magical moment, and it just maybe they're setting up for something like that, and maybe it'll be down the line. Timmy, who do you have winning the Seth versus Drew McIntyre match?
Drew.
I also have Drew McIntyre winning this match, and right now we're both 3 for 3. We've got Cena, Cody, and Drew. All right, we're gonna hit these two female matches right now. We got Iyo Sky versus Bianca Belaire. I hate to say it, but I don't know too much about the build on this one. I don't think there has been much of a build. Bianca came back, and
No.
now she has a title shot against Iyo Sky.
Well,
Uh,
Iyo Sky is the one that
oh yeah, that's
uh
right.
kicked her out and um
Stole it
what
with her.
was it?
She cashed in at SummerSlam
Yeah.
when Bianca was injured, and
Yeah.
took
This is
it
like
from her.
ultimate retribution. I honestly think that Iyo Sky holds the title.
I agree. I don't think Ia has really had an opportunity to showcase herself with this title. I feel like the company's going to give her some time to kind of show a little bit more of what she can do, have a couple more
I
marquee
also
matches.
I also think um that Jade Cargill will have an impact on one of these matches, these title matches, whether it be if I don't know. I can see her feuding with Bianca Belaire right out the gate, so maybe she costs. And I know she's not a. Is she going to be a Raw star? I don't even know. What is it?
I don't
Where
think
she,
she's been announced. She's been on
yeah,
both, and she's been on all three brands. Actually, she's
yeah.
been on Raw, NXT, and SmackDown. So
So so maybe that's the way they do it. They interject her in that whole match, and she costs Bianca the match, and then there's a feud between them two, and then she goes on to take on Iyo Sky. Maybe I don't know.
yeah,
I think she's going to have an impact in one of the two matches, the female matches. The other one you're about to talk about right now.
yeah. So we got Rhea versus Nia, Shayna, Raquel, and Zoe Stark. I think this is another one where Rhea holds on to the title, and just builds her brand and kind of the most dominant female in professional wrestling today. Um, Eventually, I could see Rhea. Hmm.
I think
There's
Rhea loses the title this this time around.
You do
I do.
to
I don't know who to. I just don't. I think she drops the title here. Um, and then she becomes just like more ruthless.
It's possible. I mean, if she were to lose it, okay. Well, I got Io winning against Bianca. I feel like she holds on to it. I got Rhea winning this. I think she holds on to it as well.
Who else is in the title match?
Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, sexy Shayna Baszler, Raquel Rodriguez, and Zoe Stark. So
I
the only
think
two that I could see taking it off are Nia and Shayna.
I think Raquel takes it.
You think Raquel takes this one?
Yeah,
Uh,
I think it's a short reign too. I think it's like a I think it's like a 2 week reign,
she
and
doesn't
then
hold it till Survivor Series, lose it at Survivor Series.
yeah, because like that's kind of the thing that I've seen with the Judgment Day is that like they've lost titles now and they've gained them right back within like a 2 week span, and I feel like they do this same thing with Mommy.
Okay. All right. So Raquel Rodriguez in what would be a certainly an upset wins the title off of Rhea for you, and you got Io and
Yeah,
Raquel, and I've got Io and
because it's a
Anya.
fatal 4 way, so Mommy doesn't have to get pinned, so she does get pinned clean. So it could be a situation where she loses the title without even being involved in the final result, and then she gets a rematch on Raw,
Right,
and
because
then
then
she
she
wins the
has
title
something
back.
to say like, "Hey, I didn't even lose, and
Right.
like someone else
Yep.
got pinned." All right, all right. So should be interesting matches. Like we said, a lot of matches on this card. The next thing I want to get into, and they doesn't have a match on this card, but me and you talked about it pre-show. Excellent promo this weekend or this past Monday, and he's been doing a lot lately. Both of these guys, but Mike the Miz versus Gunther on Miz TV. Imperium comes out, then followed by Gunther. I thought the Miz was great in this promo. The fans were loving him in this. He was like a baby face.
Hey,
Gunther
yeah.
came out and he was great. Just when they smashed the pumpkins and when they were doing all this stuff and talking about like just well done on both ends and really has me interested in a match between these two. Timmy, what'd you think of this and maybe kind of an idea of where you think this is headed?
I just think that the Miz has done so much like good work recently with everything that they've asked him to do. He's really delivered on all levels. With his work with LA Knight to kind of really catapult him into where he's at right now. We all agreed that like LA Knight was kind of on the fringe right there and needed to be challenged. And the Miz came in and really pushed him hard. And we saw now we're seeing the results of that. So it's really good to see a guy reap the benefits of his work. And I think the Miz is part of that whole equation because I mean he's done that stuff with LA Knight. Now he's being put in the ring with Gunther. And Gunther really has found his mic voice over the course of probably like the last 4 months or so. We saw it originally when he gets up on the table, the announcer's table, and he takes the mic and he starts talking. And then he's really started to get into, cutting promos at the end of his matches or even before his matches. And now he's going toe to toe with one of the best in the business. And it's it's fun to see. And the Miz, he always goes to the well when he talks about like him being a Grand Slam champion and all that stuff. And it's all accurate. It's all right. Um, but he hasn't been that major superstar in a long, long time. And he challenges Gunther, and it's going to be interesting to see because now I just saw he got put in a fatal 4-way match to challenge for the Intercontinental title. He's in there with Big Bronson Reed. There's a couple other guys that are involved in that. Ricochet's in that match too as well. So he's going to have to win a pretty incredible match to be able to face off against Gunther, but it seems like that they're pushing him in that direction.
Yeah, and just well done on both of these guys' parts, like we were saying. The Miz, as you were saying, has helped with LA Knight. He hosted WrestleMania. He's been doing a lot of things that necessarily you could say were benefiting other people's careers and not so much his. And I feel like this is an opportunity for WWE to kind of pay it back a little bit, give him some sort of a spotlight. I don't think he beats Gunther, but I think he gets to put on a show. It will be interesting. Miz is traditionally a very safe wrestler. He's been called out for it before about being a little bit too safe and not like risking anything. You don't really see him in hardcore matches or anything like that. Well, Gunther, we know that his matches they lay it in. So it'll be interesting to see Miz out there kind of taking a whooping,
Well,
and
he's got to win that fatal 4-way to actually get the match with Gunther.
oh, is it a fatal 4-way? I just thought it was with Bronson Reed. Who's in the fatal 4-way?
Ricochet, Bronson Reed, the Miz, and there was one other. I forget who it was.
Not Gable or Shinsuke or Ivar.
Ivar. Yeah, Ivar is the other guy. Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, that's an interesting match, and I like the way they're doing that, where it's you got to win to get in, and that seems to make sense. And we always talk about make it make sense. All right.
The hardest working man in the business set that up, Tom.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Pierce knows what he's doing, and he's going to lead us in the right direction. All right. Another big match. We've been talking about this title a lot lately because of a certain someone, and I think we're going to both have the same answer for this one. It's going to be Rey Mysterio versus Logan Paul. I'm really looking forward to this match. I would say this is probably the third best match on this card right now. I'm going to go Seth Rollins above this, another match we're going to talk about later, and then this match right here. So I really like the build for this. Logan Paul, I think he's must-see TV when he's on the WWE network or on Raw or SmackDown or PLE. He puts on a great show. He has his own draw. You add that with the WWE universe, it's pretty good stuff. I think he'll elevate this belt. I got Logan Paul winning this, and I think he elevates this belt. He can do like a Brock Lesnar kind of part-timer. When he shows up, he has the belt on him. Who knows? It could be up for grabs. And in the future, this is long-term thinking later on when he does go against people, it gives them a spotlight that he brings to the WWE for them to promote themselves and help build younger talent, or even talent like The Miz, people that are already over, and put them in the spotlight. He adds a spotlight to the WWE. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah.
So I have Logan Paul winning this match, and I think it's going to be an awesome match to watch.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I don't have much to add to that. It's got to change hands. It's been stale, and it needs kind of a refresher, if you will. And I think Logan Paul is the guy to do it. He's just coming off that fight of his, the pay-per-view fight that he won. He doesn't have anything else scheduled, so I think he's got some time here for the next few months to be able to kind of go all in with the WWE. So I think they'll strap him, and we'll see some relevance be brought back into that U.S. title.
Right. And that'll help even when he loses to whoever he eventually would drop it to, it'll help them. So it's really important to have Logan Paul with the belt because not only is he going to help when he has his matches against these other guys defending, but eventually when he were to drop the belt, it adds that like cachet, that big moment for a wrestler that is on it their way up and putting them over. All right. Last match, we're going to talk about the main event, your undisputed heavyweight champion. Acknowledge him, Mr. Roman Reigns versus the megastar. Whose game is it with everybody saying Mr. L.A.
L.A.
Knight? Yeah.
Yeah.
Timmy, I'm looking forward to this match. This is a chance. This is really a chance for LA Knight to put his name, like he's out there. This is the biggest opportunity he's gotten. We've talked about him in a lot in the last 6 months or so about his
At
build,
length.
his stardom, and this is like, this match has to be great. Like it really needs to be a good match to put him on the map. Is like this guy's not only a mouthpiece but can also bring it in the ring, put on a great show. He's got a perfect wrestler to tangle with, someone that's going to be a slow build. He's gonna help push that up. You got Paul Heyman promoting the fight. Great promos on SmackDown. I love the whole thing. I thought LA Knight killed it on SmackDown with his promo with Roman Reigns. I'm really looking forward to this match. Unfortunately, I have Roman winning this match. And not unfortunately, but I'm just saying for LA, the biggest trouble I have with that is how does Roman win this match and LA Knight keeps going on that rise?
Yeah. That's the question, Tom. That's the big thing that everyone is talking about is like, hey, we probably have an idea that Roman's going to win this match. And yeah, the one thing that I remember back in the day, like watching these wrestling matches year after year, match after match, is like you never knew back in the day like who would actually win. I remember like Bret Hart and Yokozuna and like all this stuff. And like now we have an idea of like how they build these matches and like how much money is involved in this stuff. And like we have a pretty good idea of who's going to win the match and why they would win the match. Um, and it sucks because really, when you look at this particular matchup, it's just like any way you slice it, Roman Reigns has to win this match just based off of everything that they have going on with the build between Cody and Roman, everything they have on the line with WrestleMania. Cody is certainly a bigger star than LA Knight. LA Knight is certainly over, but like you can't kill the guy that's just sacrificed everything to come over to WWE, and like he's played ball every single step of the way, Cody Rhodes. And then Roman Reigns, like he's got to drop the belt at some point, and like who better to do it than Cody Rhodes? It's not LA Knight, this flash in the pan guy that you're just going to hand the title to. So, are you going to entrust everything that is the WWE? He's on this new merger, right? That they have a lot of money invested in it. Are they going to give the keys to this LA Knight guy? It's just so hard to see it any other way. But we're on the precipice of a guy's career. I think the most important thing here, Tom, is what LA Knight is. And that is what is the biggest storyline for this pay-per-view is who is LA Knight before, in the middle, and certainly after this pay-per-view. Because if he's nothing, if he ends up being nothing because of this match, it's a waste of 6 months. And it falls flat. And then you have just a nobody, right? Like to really, because he's now part of that like top tier talent, right? He's now
Yeah.
part of that whole storyline with the bloodline. He's up there. And if it just falls flat, you lose that guy and you lose that momentum. I hope that doesn't happen, but it is truly a test, and it's going to be again his biggest test, and it's up to him and Roman to deliver a great match. And I hope to God it comes through strong.
Yeah. I feel like the only way this works out is if there's some sort of foul play. I hate for it to be another run in. Like if Jimmy Uso comes in and super kicks him, and then it's like, oh, here we go. It's like the same old thing with Roman and this match that like I would much rather it be like a Nux like in the trunks or something that he hits him with, or some sort of a weapon, or some sort of like, or maybe he just beats him straight up. I don't feel like this is gonna stop LA Knight. It can't. The only thing that can stop LA Knight is if they stop putting him on TV, because every time he comes out, he's been delivering, and he'll deliver after this, win or lose. And if he loses, people forget that he lost, because he'll come out and cut a promo. They're gonna have to put him with someone. People want to see him. The merch sales, the TV ratings, all that stuff. There's a reason he's in this spot right now. It's not like they're doing it because they owe him something. They're doing it because this guy's been on a meteoric rise.
I
So
can, God,
no, go ahead.
I can see, I can see at the end of this match, right? If it's a great match and it delivers, right? He gets up, Roman walks out of the ring, and it's just like an ambiance with him and the crowd. There's like some symbiotic like type of relationship there where like he gets up and he does his like, yeah, I'm still here. Yeah, does the LA Knight thing, right? And like he gets like a curtain call kind of like type deal. Like that would be cool to see. Um, Not sure if he's gonna get it, but I think that he 100% loses this match. It just all depends on how he goes out and how he delivers during the match. I just hope to God that it's not a fail. I don't want it to be a fail. I'm praying that it's not a fail. Um,
It
yeah,
won't be a fail.
I hope not. I hope not. Because he's delivered in every spot that we've hoped that he has, and he's done it with flying colors. So
I'd love for, when Stone Cold, I keep going back to Stone Cold and Bret Hart. Roman is the guy, right? He's been around, and Stone Cold and Bret Hart had this match, and they started at Survivor Series, and then he screwed him at the Royal Rumble, and then that led to the WrestleMania 13 match, the I Quit match, and it was Bret Hart's idea to add color to that match and to cut Stone Cold, which made that iconic moment and really put wrestling back in the forefront where everyone was talking about it, because it was like, this is real. You can see the blood coming down his face. He hadn't seen that. That was Bret's idea. He said, look, if you're going to pass out to the sharpshooter, you got to be there laying in your own, like in a pool of blood. It would just add so much to it. They need something like that for this match. Like, I feel like that would catapult him to even a further like boom height, and then all of a sudden LA Knight is a renegade that is doing whatever. He is the biggest thorn in Roman's side ever. He's coming after Roman. I'm coming to get you. I'm coming to get you, which would lead to an incredible like Royal Rumble moment if him and Cody are then in like the final couple, and it's like
That would be cool.
Finish the story. LA Knight's coming after. Like, no, I'm going after. Like, no one can stop the megastar. Like, that'd be an interesting story right there too. So, I'm just hoping him and Roman and Heyman and Hunter are like all talking about this. How are we going to do this? Like, I really hope they're walking around the ring and they're saying, okay, we need a moment here where this happens, which leads to this, and telling that story in the ring of this match and really putting LA over. Roman's over. He doesn't need it. But LA, like, we have to get LA to keep moving forward while losing this match. How can we keep LA Knight climbing while losing this match? And that's the main thing. And they have some great minds to think of it. And I really hope they come up with something cool. So be looking at that. And I'll just throw this out there as we're talking about it. We've been seeing people that were injured that are now back in the training facility, and Randy Orton. Is there something along those lines of Randy Orton getting involved in this PLE with a number of these matches? Maybe not Roman LA, but with the Cena solo match, with, a couple other things, just to see, like,
who knows? He could come out for every match.
He could come out for every single match. RKO's out of nowhere. But there could be several things that could happen. This is the first PLE under the new ownership, and I really feel like they're going to want to start with a bang, So I'm excited. I think it's going to be a good one. The 1:00 time on a Saturday is kind of, but like, we'll be able to watch it. It's better than it ending at 1 a.m.
True.
But we're looking forward to Crown Jewel. And Timmy, that's going to be wrapping up yet another amazing episode.
Hold on.
What?
Can
Yeah.
we stop real quick?
Pause. Cut the music.
All right. Look, it's not even worth mentioning, but I need to mention it because it was so bad.
Let's do it.
On Raw, like, I get it's Halloween. What are we doing with the fucking the Natalia match? Like, it's 10:30. It's in the last hour, and we got Natalia and what's her name, Chelsea Green hitting each other with fucking pumpkins,
slamming them on some
like that's
candy corn.
Yeah, that's like a Vince McMahon thing from like back in the day, like where like instead of like having them dressed up, like he probably have them in like bras and panties. Like, well, that was just so
Wouldn't
bad,
mind
dude.
seeing Chelsea Green in that.
Yeah, it was just, I mean,
yeah, I hear you. Wasn't good. Natalia as a Natalia. You know what I mean?
All right, that's it. Play the music. That's all I had to say.
Well, we want to thank you for listening, and we hope you've enjoyed this episode of Jabroni Drive. New episodes every week. If you're not already doing it, please give us a follow. Look up Schmidt Lavelle on all podcast platforms and YouTube, and you can find Jabroni Drive, the hottest growing professional wrestling show in all of professional wrestling shows. Timmy, anything else to say to all the Schmidt Lavelleites before we sign off?
Puppies! I love puppies!
We all love puppies. We're animal lovers here at Schmidt Lavelle and Jabroni Drive, and not only do we love them,
get your pets spayed and neutered.
Get your pets spayed and neutered. For Tom Lavelle, or my name's Tom Lavelle, for Timothy Schmidt, we appreciate you listening. Until next week, enjoy Crown Jewel. Hopefully we get some big storylines, some big pops, some big movement. And we can talk about it next week. God bless you. God bless America. And as Timmy said, God bless those puppies. Till next week, we love you.
I like turtles.